Welcome back to Age of Strife, everybody. So, you are gathered here. You've got your gear. You are ready to head southward to find this village.
I'm guessing we're not taking the wagon. We'll just take the donkey.
Yep, just the one, or do we need to bring back loot?
Probably. I'm guessing just one. We can always bury the loot somewhere and come back for it later.
Yeah, it always works for everyone else.
Luther is bringing his. He has a big black wool cloak that he's carrying, and he's also bringing his bronze mask. Which, how detailed do you think a bronze mask could be? Right now?
How much money did you spend on it?
Like 2 gold, or maybe it was like 5, but it wasn't very much at all.
I believe Ty Baradite was working on them personally.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it may have just been buying the materials. I don't really remember that much.
Okay.
But my idea is to have it shaped like a fox's face.
Right, I seem to recall someone saying something like that.
Yeah.
are you only bringing the one, or do we have one for all of us?
I think when we did it, me and Ty were the only ones that got them for some
I
reason.
mean, look at your character sheet. If it doesn't say mask, you don't have one.
Yeah. I have my mask and Ty's mask, but I don't
Okay.
know if you guys have masks.
So it means that there's only 2 in existence, probably, because
Okay.
I never got one.
Okay. So, let's take a look at the map of the area. Not this map. You want to look at this map.
By the way, Neil, can I just say your town looks like a hamburger right now? just let point that one out. Maybe a hot dog.
Something like that, definitely.
Maybe a soup pot. Anyway, sorry, random thought. Zoom out. You got the bun at the top. You got the meat in the middle, blue, and then you got the bun down the bottom.
I guess, but it's a really weird hamburger.
Look, at the moment, I haven't had breakfast.
Ah, the truth comes out. Okay.
I haven't either, so it was easy to see.
So Rose Bloom. Oh, let's actually zoom in a little bit so it's not so. See, Rose Bloom is right about here. It's like 18 miles south. It's actually fairly close to Nixon. I think the closest village
Slightly
to Nixon.
Yeah.
Maybe 19 miles south, 18 to 19.
Is Nixon built like Wadsworth, so the river goes through the town?
It is. The part of Nixon that is on the Meadowland side of Wadsworth is pretty much ruined and abandoned and considered to be, I wouldn't say quite monster-free, but a much fewer. Nixon's like 70-30, or maybe 75-25 in terms of like percentages on either side. And your father has let you know that any wealth that was on the west side of the river is gone, has been picked over by people in the last 50 years. Or however it's been since the monsters took over. That area is relatively safe to go through, but there's nothing of value left there. All the good stuff is on the other side of the river.
Okay.
Yeah, since we are going so close to Nixon, maybe we could actually just pop in, have just a quick look at the lay of the land.
Let's pop in. Have a little.
Yeah. I like to see the sights.
Something to become aware for the future.
What would we know about Nixon?
It's monstrous and it will kill us.
Yeah, I guess that's about all we need to know, really.
I mean, obviously, with Joseph, did tell us about Nixon a little bit further. Like, I've got it here. Did it somewhere? Wrote it down. Yeah, Nixon. No, not there. Nixon. The Temple of Martha. Keep it the center. Noble households that have been looted. other stuff as well, but that's what hasn't been loaded.
Maybe one day we can lead the second campaign on Nixon. Try and take it back.
Mm-hmm.
Thorn family.
You could learn magic, and we could just fireball the whole place,
That'd be nice.
turn it into a mountain.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Okay.
All right. I'm just saying we're having those thoughts as we.
You head southward.
Travel.
You're going to do that on a new day. So it'll be Saturday the 10th that you are headed south towards Rosebloom. Took a day to get your materials together. And Ginger was learning how to write both Ginger and Marcella. So you head out Saturday and journey down through the Meadowlands. It looks like Wadsworth is...
looking for snakes, spiders, scorpions, and frogs that seem poisonous.
Always an eye out for poisonous animals. Good. I'll let you know when you run across any.
Okay.
But I appreciate you pointing it out every time. It's a good job there. So you head southward through the Meadowlands, which are fairly gentle, peaceful areas. There's no sign of monsters or dangers anywhere. I think you guys end up passing through Darbloon. That's the place where you found the young boy who had been captured, and the place that your father passed through on his way to Nixon so many times.
I think maybe while we're there, we'll ask around, I guess, for a capable warrior
Oh yeah.
in our continued search for someone useful.
So, you walk into Darbloon, and there's a person, a farmer, tending to a shepherd tending to a flock. She is fairly old, maybe 80 years old or something, walking with a hooked cane. How would you approach her and ask her about capable warriors?
I'd probably wave and maybe walk over and say, hail.
Hello there.
I assume you live here in Darbloon?
I do, my lord.
Well, myself and my family are looking to start a guard of sorts, and we're scouting through some villages, looking for any capable warriors that you may have that may be looking for employment with the Thorn family.
Capable warriors? No. I think Nancy's boy, Ronald, I think he's a big lad. Big-boned. Strong as an ox.
That certainly sounds promising. Is he a good boy?
Very good boy.
Huh.
I think it's her grandson. They live down past the windmill, the broken windmill. Third house on the left.
Oh, well. Thank you for your time. I'll head over and give him a visit.
Okay. You come to Nancy's house, or what you presume to be Nancy's house, and out in front is a woman folding some laundry, being assisted by a rather large, strong-looking boy. He must be 15 years old, but he's probably like 6'4", 260 pounds.
15-year-old captain of the guard. Oh,
I mean, at that age, he looks like a half giant. He could still grow bigger.
he's also probably very moldable. Okay.
I'm gonna go to Luther before he talks to his family and say, I think he'll be brilliant as a guardsman, but remember, we're looking for a leader as well. So maybe if he's got the brains and the brawn, it'd be perfect as a leader.
Maybe for some time I could make him somewhat of a squire to me, and we can judge his worth that way.
Of course.
Perhaps we should definitely take him out, but two things. One, making him a squire might be a little bit too premature. The second thing is do we want to take him out now when we have nothing to outfit him with, and say that our first action is to go rob a crypt?
You make a good point. I'm not sure that we should take him to rob crypts with us.
No. We
Quite a strange pastime, really.
give him our word and send him to our father.
Yes, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Also, there is another issue, but we could be seen to be poaching on another noble's peasants.
Too bad for them.
Yeah.
Okay, you are our fearless leader.
If they complain about it, we'll have a discussion about that then. But I think for now, we're just helping a man get his start in life. Maybe become a knight one day. He won't promise
Alright.
it's possible.
Well, let's see his medal then. But
Okay, so I approach and I say to the woman, "You are Nancy, is that correct?"
Yes, oh, yes, my lord. She gives you a deep curtsy. How are you doing today?
Oh, we're doing quite well, I believe. Well, that's a lie. I don't know if you've heard about the giant in Wadsworth, but quite a bother.
She
Anyway.
nods.
Besides that, though, we're doing quite well. We spoke to someone just a few paces back down the road. And she happened to tell us about your boy Ronald. We're out looking for potential.
Has he done something wrong? Ronald,
No.
get over here. What have you done?
No, ma'am, he hasn't done anything wrong. We're sure Ronald is a very good lad.
She eyes him suspiciously.
We're looking to start a guard for House Thorn, and we heard that your boy is very strong and a good lad, and we came to talk to him about possibly being a guard for House Thorn.
Really? Ronald, someone actually wants you around. She pats him on the shoulder, having to reach up to hit him on the shoulder. Well, he's strong, he's loyal. Don't know if he knows how to swing a sword or thrust a spear, but I think his presence enough would be good to intimidate folks.
I certainly agree with that. Does he know how to read?
No, nothing like that.
We could teach him, of course. Well. Anyway.
Well, Ronald, show them what you can do. Do something. He looks around. Walks over to the fence. It's like a wooden fence. And just kind of tears a beam out of it. And just like smashes the rest of the fence with it. And the mom comes running over going, "Oh no, Ronald! Oh God, your father just fixed that. Oh, he's gonna give you a good thrashing tonight. Oh, you poor..." She comes back and goes, maybe I should have said, Ronald's not all there. He's a little bit light in the head.
Ah, I see.
But he's very strong, very loyal, and very good-hearted.
Those are certainly three of the top qualities we look for.
I'm gonna look at Nancy and say quietly, "Does Ronald speak at all?"
She nods. Yes, he does.
Okay.
He's a little shy, though. He's not overly social. Likes to keep to himself.
he wasn't that shy a second ago with the fence.
Awkward in social situations, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I joined the huddle with Ginger and Nancy.
Okay. Ronald is just kind of standing dumbly, leaning on his piece of fence that he pulled out.
And I just ask Ginger what she thinks about it.
Oh, he's eager to show what he can do, and obviously strong, young, capable. Well, I think hire him on, put him at a low wage until he's trained.
Yeah,
That's the best way of putting it.
certainly a project, but he seems like quite a good lad. Quite strong.
While they're talking, I'm going to approach good old Ronald.
All right. He's standing there, looking down at you.
Yeah.
What? You're 5'6". He's 6'4", so he's a good 10 inches taller than you.
I'll extend my hand and, you know, well,
Takes it in his big meaty hand and kind of shakes it.
You want to learn to fight?
I fight okay.
But would you like to fight better?
I don't know.
You know, do you like girls, Ronald?
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
Uh-huh.
You gotta promise not to tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You promise?
Uh-huh.
You cross your heart and hope that Reluna doesn't come and take your gonads?
Huh?
Yeah, you don't want that.
Uh-uh.
No. Well, the reason why we want you is because my sister likes you.
Huh? Me?
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you play your cards right and learn to use your sword,
You see him kind of like visibly shrink. Kind of like, oh.
yeah, it's okay. Happens to all of us. But if you learn to use your sword and be strong, then she'll like you even more.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good chat, my man. Shake his hand again.
He shakes yours a little awkwardly. His big meaty hand completely envelops yours. He goes and kind of just stands on the other side of the laundry that's hanging up, kind of blocking you guys from his sight.
And Ronald, I suggest it might be a good idea if you fix that fence before your father comes home.
He tries to fix the fence, but he's broken
Lovely.
some pieces. Yeah, they're like broken in the middle. He's trying to set them so they'll sort of hold. And
Well, okay. So I talk to Nancy some more, and I say, well, if he can make the trip to Wadsworth and report to the Thorn House, my father could begin training him immediately.
well, that's well.
We'll pay him a silver a day.
Thank you, my lord. That's a wonderful thing. Will he be well cared for? Will he have a bed and a
Oh,
warm
yes.
roof over his head?
Yes,
He eats a lot.
we have spare rooms in the house and plenty of food.
There's also, I'm quite sure, in the slums area, there's somebody who'll take him in.
Oh, I don't think he
yes.
would do too well out there. He's
Yes, ignore him. We would let him stay in our house until we establish a barracks, at least.
Yes, absolutely. Our fearless leader has chosen wisely in choosing your son.
Oh yes, he's a very good lad. I'm quite excited for the chance to.
you're not taking him today, are you?
Well, we're actually going to keep surveying villages, so no, I suppose not. He could either go to Wadsworth alone, or we can come back and get him.
Oh, I think you'd better come back and get him. He might get lost on the way up there by himself.
I see. Well, we can
Tell me,
certainly.
does he have trouble finding doors?
He has trouble fitting in through doors, but finding them's never been a problem.
No.
Nancy, trust me, your boy will be very well cared for with us. I think I'm developing a soft spot for him already. He seems like he could make quite a loyal guardsman.
Loyal indeed. He's such a kind boy.
Ah, yes.
All right.
Well, good day to you.
It's
Yes.
good to meet such a good heart.
She waves at you as you depart.
As we depart, I was like, brother, your wisdom in choosing this dumb ox. I'm sure that the Spike is more intelligent here than
He
than
won't
that.
be the captain, of course, but he's certainly a strong boy.
He is. I definitely don't think that though he'll have the faculties to learn, well, one, how to read and write. Secondly, I don't think he'll be able to learn anything really. So I think the best bet would be just to get him a big tree and let him use that.
Well, I believe in him. For now, at least. I like this type
This is
of...
going to be fun. Yeah, I'm sure you do. They're easy. It's something that actually has more intelligence than you. Well, less intelligence than you, sorry.
God.
Well, he doesn't need to learn too much if we just have him as standing guard at our estate. But you know, if he's that simple, he might just be okay with standing all day long.
Really,
I'm sure it's his dream job.
You know, just tell him that he's really important. Put a suit on him, and there you go.
Look, I think it'll be fine. Give the lad a big two-handed sword, and he could work wonders.
I don't think any of those exist in Wadsworth.
Nope.
Yes, it would be nice if Ty were around. I'm sure he could make one, but we'll figure something out. If
He can certainly make horseshoes.
yes,
And the person who was training Ty on the smith was, well, he was just the guy who made the horseshoes, wasn't he?
well, we have to be able to get weapons somewhere. The sheriff gets his
Ship
weapons
them in from the
somewhere.
capital.
But don't,
Oh,
look at
you
it.
should
Look
put
at
it
him. You just uproot a tree and give it to him. You don't need to cut things when you can just, like the giant. He didn't need a sword to just demolish a, right? We got our own giant.
If that's how it plays out, I'd be
But
quite
he's certainly
happy.
not. He's not worth the cost of a impressive sword. I think
We
the club
certainly
is
would not
more
be
to
paying him
make
that. 1 silver a day. That's 31 gold a year.
You know, a silver a day plus, you know, a room in our house is more than generous.
Yes, indeed. And we only have so many rooms. How are you going to get this men at arms if you're gonna give up your room next?
We will
Wait,
have to
stop.
have a barracks at some point, but
What
for now,
what would he do with a silver a day?
send
I'm
it
sure.
over. I don't know what people do with their money.
Let's just not give him money.
It'll be okay.
Just give him a job and tell him that the job is better than money.
I think the government will come after us for that. That's not in accordance with workers' rights.
No, 'cause we're paying for his place for.
We'll pay him minimum wage, and he'll learn something. I'm sure he'll have to learn something while he's.
Actually, that's true. If we pay him, if we say we're going to pay him a silver a day, but he eats 2 silver a day in food, then his pay goes to his food. I think that makes perfect sense.
We can take care of this later.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let's go.
Let's.
Right.
Okay.
And we head out to the next village where we can find another Ronald.
Well, the next village along the way is Rosebloom. And you see it maybe a couple miles off, a little bit of smoke gently rising from the chimneys. It's getting later in the day. It's mid-afternoon now. Actually, you know what? It's December, so it's mid-afternoon, or it's like 4 o'clock, which means the sun is beginning to set, because, you know, the sun sets very early in December. in the northern hemisphere where this game takes place.
As
We
I
have-
was
we have-
reminded very recently.
We have perfect timing. I'd say we circle the town so that no one can see us, or the village, and then approach it from the south as night falls.
You two should really invest in disguises, or at least a big cloak like this one.
You can't disguise brilliance. It's easier to block out the sun.
You can't disguise the spear I'm holding either, and I'm not going to let go of it.
Well, okay.
Either way, well, we're just gonna go into the mausoleum. So, if anyone needs to take a watch outside, then I will volunteer that.
Sounds
Well-
fine.
The goal is to not be seen. Therefore, a disguise is redundant.
Okay.
Well, it does make it so that if you are seen, you can get away and nobody will know who you were. But anyway, we're here. It's too late. Let's get over there. So I guess we wait till it gets fairly dark and try to find a clear path away from houses and people and all that, and just get over to the first mausoleum we see.
Okay.
So circle around to the south and then head north, and then head up the wall straight into the cemetery.
Right. You circle around the town, the village, giving it a wide berth, making sure no one's going to spot you, or if someone sees you in the distance, you'll be unidentifiable. There's not much in the way of cover or hills. It's fairly flat. You see some other shepherds with their flocks out there. You can see the vineyards that cover a great expanse of the land around this village. But eventually you make your way south as the sun begins to set in the thornwood forest. And you find yourself at the edge of the cemetery. After the sun has set, or as the sun is just setting. The cemetery has a wall. It's maybe 2 or 3 feet high. It just comes up to your hip. It's not really a very useful wall. It might keep a drunk squirrel out, but not much else.
Yeah.
It's made of
It
stone.
keeps it dead in.
It's got some moss going over it. There's a gate that you could see when you were walking through on the other side near the village itself. This south side doesn't have any gate, but you can easily step over the wall, as I said. Cemetery is fairly large, maybe 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet. And in the setting sun, or the light of the setting sun, you can spot looks to be 4 mausoleums, or 4 large kind of buildings that rise out from the cemetery. From your side, there is one that is definitely closest to you. It's maybe a 10-foot by 10-foot building, 7 feet high with a steeped roof that comes to a large spike that rises out the top.
Okay, let's be quick then.
Well, perhaps, brother, if you go first, and you are the one who is better at sneaking than me and my sister.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you go first, and then call us over when it's safe to come in.
Sounds good. And I get low to the ground. I wink at my family, and I put on my bronze fox mask, and I head off.
Okay. You head into the cemetery as the sun goes down in the blackthorn forest. By the time you get to the mausoleum, which isn't that far from you, the sun is all the way behind the trees, and there's just a dim light left in the sky. This mausoleum is made out of stone. It has like pillars on the corners, but the pillars like meld into the walls, giving you this like flat and then rounded and then flat and then rounded. You gotta creep your way around the edge to find the entrance. The whole thing is set up on like a little dais as well. The front side has a wrought iron gate that's just kind of set into the stone with a big padlock on the outside.
Okay, so I see the padlock, and I think, this is what I've trained my whole life for. This moment right here.
Yeah.
And I try to pick the lock,
What is your lock picking percentage?
40%.
That is not very good.
No, my life's work apparently has not turned out well so far.
Okay, let me take a quick look at something. Apparently I don't have lock quality on my DM cheat sheet. I gotta find it in the book. Okay. Give me a D100. You want a 40 or below. And a failure means that it is beyond your skill.
I still haven't rolled a successful thief skill check yet in this campaign, so let's just hope this time. I pick it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, it takes you a few minutes. Takes about 3 minutes to get to it, and eventually there's a twist and a turn, and the lock just kind of opens up in your hand. A bit of a chunk.
Well, I get over to where I can see my family and kind of signal them over.
It's dark. You can't see them anymore. You're gonna have to go back to get them.
I go back and get them.
It's fine.
And I say, I pick the lock. Finally.
Is there anyone there? Anyone nearby?
Nope. Seems quite clear. I haven't checked the inside yet, but I figure we should all be there for that.
I meant in the village. I wouldn't expect anyone to be living in the mausoleum.
I was too happy about picking that lock to check, actually. I think it'll be fine. I didn't hear it.
Alright, let's do it then.
It's quite dark, and the village is over there. They can't see us unless we have a light source on us. So
Yeah, just don't blow your horns or anything.
I'm gonna tie up the donkey just behind us somewhere.
So there's not much in the way of trees. You could.
Tie it to a
stone
gravestone.
wall.
There's a gravestone you could probably tie it to if you brought the donkey over the wall.
Yeah, I'd have to get over
You're
the
muted.
wall. That'd be strange.
Is there anything? Can we just attach it to the wall?
I mean, you could lay it on the wall, but there's nothing to. It's like a stone wall. There's no hooks or.
How
things to tie
secure
to.
would it be if you dug a hole and put the end of the rope in the hole and then filled it back in?
Very insecure.
It would be more secure if I were to take one of my spears, stab it up against the inside of the wall,
There you
and
go.
then tie the rope to the spear.
That might
Beautiful.
work. If you can drive that spear down fairly well and then tie it to the outside, so if it gets pulled, it'll pull against the wall. That's a very
Yeah.
clever idea, Ginger.
I should have been an engineer.
It's better
Yeah.
than putting the rope in a hole and trying to get down to the ground.
It's much
So,
better than putting the rope in the hole.
So I do that. I'll make sure to mark one of these spears.
Okay. You guys spend a few minutes, fussing with the donkey and discussing the matters, and then head back. When you get back to the crypt, you notice that the gate is open. Maybe it's just off its hinges and it opened, or maybe someone has come by, but maybe there's another reason, but it's open now.
Luther mumbles something about witches. And he says, I didn't open the gate, actually. It seems to have opened by itself while I was gone. But
And
maybe it's just a bad gate.
okay, well,
Maybe someone came to check. Maybe we should just watch for a little bit before we go in. Maybe that's maybe it's
actually-
the doors like at the lighthouse.
How about I just head inside?
All right, well let's go in then.
Okay. I get my shield on my arm and slowly move inside.
After
Yeah,
you, my
also-
lady.
I have one of my other spears in my hand. Short spear, of course, which is 6 foot long. And I'm going to head in, shield first, take a look behind me at Stefan. Do you follow?
I do, and I shut the gate behind me. And can I put the chain back over to?
It was just a padlock. There was no chain.
Okay, right. Can I just pick up a rock and just wedge the door? Which the gate?
Yeah. There's probably actually not any loose stones lying around. It's well cared for cemetery. Do you have just something crappy on you that you can use as a off your character sheet?
Javelin?
I got a needle.
Probably not a very good balancing thing.
No, probably not. I got soap.
You might be able to just set the padlock down on the bottom. That might
Yeah,
be enough to hold
yeah,
the gate open, you know, depending on...
Yeah. Actually, I got thread. That'll do it. I'll just get some thread and I'll just twine it around.
Oh, yeah, that'll...
a few times.
That's good enough.
Yeah, I just don't want anything that will identify us. So, yeah, we'll use that. And hopefully inertia is enough to hold it there.
You guys are in a fairly small room, right? It's a 10 by 10 room. It's pretty much just a down staircase with carvings on the walls, but it's really dark in here. I mean, the sun has been setting. It's now below the forest. There's that last flash of orange in the sky over the thornwood forest, but in here it's pitch dark.
So is it about wide enough for two people to be in a shield wall, possibly?
Well, in this 10 by 10 room, sure, but the staircase is only wide enough for a single person to go down.
Okay.
Neil, is there a door like to the mausoleum, or is it just open going down?
No, it's the gate, and then just a staircase.
Okay. Well, I guess we need light. I can't find anything without it. Should we light a torch?
Yep.
Because I can't see shit. Alright, I get out my torch and light it.
Okay. The
With the flask
staircase
of oil.
is a very tight, square spiral leading downward. You can't see more than the first turn around. It has no rail on it at all. Someone's going to have to go down to see how far it goes.
Before we continue, how much light have we got in here?
A torch?
The torch?
Just the one torch?
Seems so.
Okay. I'm willing to go first with a shield as long as someone walks behind me with the torch.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan to me.
Very well.
I'll
I
stay
shall.
back.
Yeah.
So my plan is to move forward and with my spear just poking at the spiral staircase as we take steps down. Just if there's anything on the stairs that might be loose, I'd poke it.
So you use it like one of those, like the feeler sticks that blind people have?
Yeah.
Okay. Seems legit.
You go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 flights. They're short flights of stairs. They're like 10 feet long. So you go down many, many flights in this spiral until you come to the ground level. Here the floor is dirt. The walls are dirt, although there are like stone pillars holding things up or wood beams in different areas to shore things together. As you step out onto this dirt floor, a flurry of rats runs away from the torchlight, kind of scampering off into the darkness.
Oh man, it'd be so cool if there spoke rat.
That would be an interesting thing. It's quiet down here. It's cold up there. Down underground here, it's a little bit warmer. It's definitely more humid. And the three of you are down in this dirt area. There's a hallway that leads straight in front of you, and a hallway that leads to the right, and a hallway that leads to the left. Each one is about, your torchlight only extends about 15 feet. So you're not sure how far they go.
Oh.
All right, so let's take one of these and find some tomb to rob.
Straight's always where the most important people are, or that's what my assumption is. So I'd say we try going forward first.
Very good.
Okay, so is this one of those narrow corridors where it's only one person at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will lead with my spear pointing mostly to the ground, poking every step or so.
Very quickly, you start seeing these. God, I've forgotten their name already. These dugout areas on the sides of the dirt walls where bodies have been laying. I can't remember their names.
I've been playing Skyrim, so I should know, but I don't.
Yeah, those things.
Shelf graves.
Yeah, something like that.
Does it look like there's anything valuable in the?
Well, the first body you
like-
come to was a semi-well-dressed person. Looks to be of lower noble or upper merchant class. The clothing is probably worthless now because it's been sitting on this dead body and it's a little bit rotted away. You can see where probably rats or maybe insects have eaten away at the cloth. You search the, kind of lift up the hands and stuff, and you find some rings on the hands. Stefan can take a look at them and tell you that they are bronze, not worth that much.
Bronze rings.
Yeah. This is just the first body, though.
Yep.
So are you guys going to go like corpse by corpse and inspecting all the... I mean, you are tomb raiding.
I think
I
that's at
was
least
thinking-
what Luther's doing.
I was thinking that
Same idea.
I would move until the end of this corridor,
Yeah, I agree.
whilst keeping in light.
Let's go find the more valuable things, and we can work backwards there from if necessary.
Fair enough.
And by the way, why do you have your spear out? Like, you expecting more of those bone horrors to come?
Now that you say it, yeah. But no, I was just poking. You know, in case a loose stone. I don't want to, you know, it's my ankle.
Over. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wouldn't wanna. Nope. That'd be bad.
Yeah, we have to carry you back.
You keep heading down this hallway, and very quickly your light shines on the end of it, or it ends in another gate with another lock, maybe another 10 feet beyond the initial start of your light, so 25 feet from the initial grave point, or staircase end.
Yeah, looks like we got a locked door here.
You come, and it is an arched doorway, framed in timber, with an iron grate in front of it, or an iron gate, I guess, with a barred gate. Kind of done up with little spirals and pokey things, and fairly decorative.
Does it have anything written on it?
You are illiterate.
Yeah, but I can.
I guess you could. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
recognize writing. Let's see.
You know, if we could just take this iron gate with us, that'd be worth a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to start just pulling off the hinges?
Just carry the gate out of the tomb.
No one will notice.
Sorry, guys. Just doing some construction. Nope. Don't mind us.
Walk out like you own it. That's how you steal.
Apparently, there's a need in Wordsworth for a new gate.
There is a name or a few words written across the top of the arch, which you cannot read, Ginger.
Okay, I will say there's a locked iron door with some writing up top, and I'll turn to the side to maybe give the people behind me some view.
It says Sophia Lorne.
Lauren. Do we know anything about Sophia Lauren?
Nope,
Is
we've
it
never heard this name before.
Sophia Lauren. Oh, seems like that's whose tomb it is. I hope she's important.
There's your mighty intellect showing through again.
Well,
So we've never heard of the Lorne family either, have we?
Mm-mm.
If this is a noble, then this must be very old.
seems as if I'm being tested. Well, hopefully I can get this locked too.
Are you saying because Sarah Thorne?
No, just because of all the locks.
Oh,
All right. Give me a chance to pick locks.
Oh yeah.
mate, you're on a
I hope
roll.
the lock isn't the super lock.
Yeah.
That was a weird grin I saw.
Oh, and is there enough room for us to side on shift past each other?
Yeah, if you go sideways, you can shift past each other if you want.
Okay, so I let Luther pass to reach the lock.
Right.
Yeah.
Deck, please. Okay. The lock opens, and the gate kind of just starts to swing inward into this room. As you pass the torch forward to see in, you can see this is a 10 by 10 room with a stone sarcophagus resting in the middle of it. But not quite the middle, like the back in the middle, maybe 2 feet from the wall. There are some brass shallow dishes on little on little poles that look like they could be filled with oil and lit to kind of light up the room. There's a small stone plaque set at an angle against the base of the stone sarcophagus, the lid of which has a likeness of the inhabitant carved onto it. There are the remains of what were probably flowers left at the base of it.
Luther goes to the plaque first. Sees if he can find anything out about Sophia Lorne.
It's a small epitaph. It just talks about her being a loving mother, a devout wife, and a mighty force of will to be reckoned with among the people.
Well, okay, I guess I go to the sarcophagus and just kind of get a feel of it. Does it look like it's too heavy for me to open?
You might be able to open it by yourself, but it'd be nice to have help.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big, heavy stone top. Especially if you just want to like knock it off, you could probably do it eventually. If you want it
I'll
to
gesture to
set it off and set it back on, you definitely need help.
Yeah, I'll gesture to Ginger and Stefan for some help.
So the switch in the box, yeah? Yeah.
And
Gee, that's creepy.
I
didn't
mumble
think that's
something about being sorry to Martha, but we need gold.
Okay. So, as you guys are setting to put your shoulders against it, there comes a noise from down the hall behind you. The sound of something falling on the ground. And maybe a whisper or a rustle of something. But there's definitely something coming from inside the crypt behind you.
Okay, well,
I shut the door.
The little gate.
Is it just a gate? Is it again open? I thought you said there was a door as well.
No, yeah, it's a gate. You know, you can reach through it if you want, but you can't walk through it.
Okay, yeah. Well, in that case, I will shut the gate.
Okay.
yeah, I'll
And
kind of
try to look
get
out.
to a position where I'm where if someone is looking through the gate, they couldn't see me. So
Sure, you
might
can be
have-
on the side. You can flank the gate.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do.
But there's only room for, I guess, 3 people could do that too on one side, one on the other. The gate won't hold itself shut unless you put the lock back in.
Okay. Well,
Or put something through the little hole to keep the gate shut.
I'm going to make a gesture to Luther. I think, Luther, you're holding the torch. And quietly say, the light. Point to the torch. Do you want that on or off?
Someone's coming.
I think he just leaves it on. I think that's fine.
Well, if the light's on, then there's no point in stealth. So I just stand out and wait to see who's coming down.
Okay.
Which commoners come down.
Emerging at the very end of the light shed from the torch is a silhouetted figure.